Hey there, everybody. Jessica Carter here.
With Matt Carter.
And we're going to be talking about tonight's episode of The Masked Singer. So, if you've watched that episode and you know what the spoilers are, we're going to have lots in here. If you haven't seen that episode, there's still going to be spoilers. So, we're going to be talking about the Swan. We're going to be talking about everybody else. But before we jump into that, if you do like this discussion, make sure that you subscribe to our channel, ring that bell, give us a like, and stick around with us because we're going to be talking about Masked Singer every week this season. So we're going to jump straight into the big reveal. We lost the Swan tonight.
Really was the Swan song, wasn't it?
They
did the pun. I am just quoting them.
You would have done it anyways.
You are right.
Matt loves puns.
I do love puns.
If you've been on the channel, then you know that. So, yeah, we're going to be talking about the Swan, and the big reveal is, it is Bella Thorne.
I guess I'm kind of surprised by this. I didn't guess Bella Thorne. She wasn't on my radar. Mostly because they kept doing this stinking vampire stuff the whole time.
They did.
And I mean, maybe they were really throwing us off because I think now that I've seen it, I'm sort of like, okay, the new moon, the vampire stuff, Bella Swan, Bella Thorne, that's where they were going with all of this. So you Google people couldn't figure it out so quickly.
It's true. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know a lot about her. I only know about her through Tana Mongeau, who I watch on YouTube all the time. They used to date a long time ago, so that's how I know about her, and that's all I really know about her. So I was never going to guess Bella Thorne.
I mean, I know a little bit about her as a performer, but, you know, Shake It Up, which was on Disney Channel, that kind of came about when I was sort of past the Disney Channel viewing age, so I never really got into that. I mean, I know that she sort of does a lot of things that get attention and sometimes garner controversy, and she does get headlines. I think, you know, it's one of these things where we're looking back at it and I'm like, okay, I know she is self-made. I know she does a lot of different stuff. It's like everything makes sense, but the thing that really, really threw me was the intense love for Ken Jeong that she proclaimed in the middle of her performance.
Yeah. And I mean, it seems like they know each other, so I mean, there you go.
Yeah, I was thinking at a certain point, because I know Joel McHale and Ken were caught up on Donald Glover being under the astronaut mask. I
thought he was on last season.
I was really caught up on this being maybe Alison Brie tonight, because she was on Community too, and she has kind of this sort of wild and zany sense of humor where she would sing something like this to Ken, and I thought that would have been fun. I was just thinking, okay, maybe she's into vampires or something, and I just don't know.
I really actually enjoyed her performance. I mean, Joan Jett is extremely hard to sing. So when I first sort of heard that this is where she was going with this, that she was going to do this song, I was like, oh man, this is hard. And I'm not saying she killed it or anything, but she held her own with it better than the T-Rex, who we're going to talk about, who I didn't think did as good of a job. However, T-Rex just works the stage and has an energy about her that is like no one else that has ever been on this show.
The T-Rex is just fun. I think she's energetic. She seems to sort of know what she wants to do out there. She plays the crowd really, really well.
Yeah, she really does.
I think this is just my gut feeling on all this, that whoever is doing this as the T-Rex is like doing some wish fulfillment here, where they know that they're never probably going to get a chance to do this sort of thing again, so they're just like swinging for the fences. It's sort of like, you know, when you're a kid and you get to go to a candy store on vacation and you know, okay, I'm probably never going to be at this candy store again, and you get like 8 pounds of chocolate and you try to eat it all at once. That is the T-Rex to me.
Or Jojo Siwa.
It's one of those two things.
No, because that YouTuber does really have like an insane amount of energy and is always on and bigger than life, and so is the T-Rex. And I do think that it's probably her. And I'm kind of surprised that no one on the panel has guessed her. I'm guessing they're all just sitting on it because they probably all know it's her, because they've guessed all these other YouTubers where I'm just like, really? Lily?
Well,
I don't know.
Maybe they have the same knowledge of YouTubers that I kind of do, where it's sort of like my knowledge of JoJo is sort of like your knowledge of Bella Thorne, where I've heard of her and I know that she's famous for a couple of things, but I couldn't tell you really anything about her, and that's probably why I'm not inclined to guess her, just because I don't know her. You're probably right, but I'm still stuck on it as an athlete, because I'm really going on they're probably not a performer. I think JoJo is sort of a singer, or she's kind of getting into that.
Yeah, kind of.
And to me, it feels like this is not something that they usually do. It just, that much energy, I would die like a minute into this, like legitimately. I just think it's somebody who's very, very athletic, who's used to moving around a lot. Last week, I was thinking a lot that it was Laurie Hernandez. I do still think it could be a gymnast. You have a lot of those sort of clues in there. They did throw in this singles or doubles sort of clue tonight. So I'm going to go now with tennis, and I'm going to go with a young tennis prodigy who has had a good bit of success, but might still be wondering, is she a one-hit wonder, which is something they brought up. Naomi Osaka, who had a memorable showdown with Serena Williams. I can see her being the T-Rex and her having this much fun with it. I do not know if Naomi Osaka can even remotely sing.
I don't know anything about her, so maybe.
There we go. This is where we are with some of these people right now.
Yeah, and the next one we're going to talk about is also like that for me, who is the Rhino. He stumped me last week. He stumped me this week. All I know about him is that he can really sing, and I love his story. He's really endearing to me, and the more that I'm learning about him just through his clues and how his wife, really kind of saved him and all these things, I don't know who you are, Rhino, but I love you.
There's a lot of different directions you can go with this one, because there's a part of me that thinks, okay, maybe it was, he's just an actor who maybe went through a dark period of time and is branching out to other stuff. I said my guess last week that it was former Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo, and I still kind of want to go with that, because they did talk about how he's branching out into other things and how his wife encourages some of these things. I know Tony Romo's married. I know that he's done other things since playing football. I think they showed a tennis racket or something at some point in there.
Yeah, they were like playing tennis and he was rocking out. Like they have been very strange with the clues, like they were with the astronaut last week, where it was like, here's a toolbox and here's a foot and here's like a lei of flour. I'm just like, I don't even know, guys. Are you just throwing things up now?
I did look up Tony Romo tennis to see if there was anything, and Tony Romo does play tennis. He's actually more of a golfer, but he must play a little bit of tennis, so maybe
okay, you play a little bit of racquetball, but if somebody threw up a racquetball, I'd be like, oh yeah, Matt, that's Matt.
Yeah,
come on.
The racquetball's the dead giveaway, everyone.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, my biggest accomplishment is I broke a pair of my glasses playing racquetball, so there we go. Not a very successful sport for me, but yeah, I think other than that, I don't think the Rhino's a singer, but I think there's somebody who has a little bit of singing ability, and they're doing something different by going on the show.
Okay, so next we're going to talk about the astronaut, because I just brought up all the crazy clue packages that they've had with and so anyways, there was, I know a lot of people are stuck on Hunter Hayes. I don't know who that is. I've never really listened to him. You said he was country. I don't listen to any country, so I'm not going to go in that direction. I was starting to kind of go more into the Jonathan Taylor Thomas arena, because they did have the toolbox. They did sort of have this circle of life, and he was in Lion King and a bunch of that kind of connections with that. But I don't know that he can sing, but I know that I used to watch an awful lot of Tim the Toolman Taylor growing up. I loved that show so much. Okay, this is going to date me. I loved that show so much that I used to tape it on my VCR.
You and pretty much like 95% of, I think, the women that I have known in my entire life all love Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
I loved him.
And think that he is the greatest, for a year, Jonathan Taylor Thomas may have been legitimately the most famous person in the entire world.
He was just so funny and so adorable, and I just loved the show, and I thought Tim Allen was really funny, and I thought the boys were all really funny, and I don't know, man, that was a great show.
I will actually legitimately love if it is Jonathan Taylor Thomas, because I do remember... there was some Christmas movie that he did that I think I saw 15 times. I do remember watching a lot of Home Improvement. I loved The Lion King. There's a lot of things that would be endearing, and I don't remember. Somebody may correct me in the comments, but I know young Simba did sing I Just Can't Wait to Be King.
He didn't sing it.
Oh, he didn't sing it?
No, I looked that up because I was like, oh man, maybe this has actually got a little, juice in the squeeze here. And I'm like, oh man, if he sang in Lion King, then maybe I've got something. But he did not sing in Lion King, so I have nothing except Circle of Life and a toolbox.
Is Jonathan Taylor Thomas connected to the mob? The organized crime?
It may be. That would maybe explain the foot. Okay, it's getting dark.
Yeah, well, there is a joke where on The Voice where a lot of people vote for Blake's artist. They're called at times the country mafia. So maybe that's a reference that it's a country singer. But, I am still... Hunter Hayes was my first guess just because of the clues the first time around, but the truth is, I know a little bit about Hunter Hayes, but I don't know a ton. He seems kind of young. I don't know when he would have gotten burned, which is what they sort of describe in all this. I don't know if he knows sign language. I think, vocally it does seem like the astronaut can sing, so I wouldn't be surprised if he is a singer. If I'm going to go into a crazy guess corner here, they brought up Unexpected Journey, which just so happens to be a reference to The Hobbit, where an unexpected journey is a key title. Martin Freeman, are you on The Masked Singer?
Oh my goodness, I hope he's not. I hope he's shooting Sherlock somewhere.
Okay.
They also did, though, bring up the idea that this was someone who was maybe a child star.
Yeah.
Martin Freeman.
Is Martin Freeman a child star?
No.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I just know him that he was on The Office and a couple other things.
Yeah, he was on The Office, but he wasn't a kid then.
Yeah, I don't know if Hunter Hayes was a child star either. I don't really... maybe he was like a teenage country star or something like that.
Yeah, they were kind of talking about how when he was really young, he was really famous, and then his star went out.
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing is that they're guessing Donald Glover there, because I'm pretty sure Donald Glover didn't really become anything. He was a writer on 30 Rock. I don't think he was a child star at all.
No, and his star didn't go out, but Jonathan Taylor Thomas, his star did go out. He was, like you said, the biggest thing for a couple of years, and then all of a sudden it was where is this guy?
There was 1 year where it was a straight up battle royale between Jonathan Taylor Thomas and the Hanson brothers, and if you showed me pictures of Jonathan Taylor Thomas and Hanson, I would not be able to tell you who is who. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay, so the last person we're going to talk about is Candy, the Night Angel. I'm still sure that it's her. They brought up the Sweet Tea, which is a southern thing. She's from Atlanta. They had already brought up the Granny Gang, so the old lady gang. They brought up that she was part of a band and then went out on her own, which Candy also was. I think they were called Escape or something like that in the 90s, and then she went on her own. They talked about her building an empire. She definitely has an empire because she isn't just on Real Housewives. She's got her music, she's got some adult products line.
Yeah, there's stuff out there.
There's stuff out there. She has a lot of stuff going on. She had a play going on for a while there. There's a lot happening for her.
I want to have a different guess, but I really can't anymore. Mostly just because of the
old lady gang?
No, it's not even the old lady gang.
Oh, that was the giveaway. There is no getting around that. Now everything just fits in.
Well, it's just, now that you've kind of implanted Candy in my head, I'm really watching these clue packages, thinking about her, and I'm like, okay, that lines up to Candy. That lines up to Candy. I don't know Real Housewives of Atlanta as well as you do, but I've seen enough of it to know a decent amount about Candy. All the clues lined up. But really, to me, the thing that was the biggest sell was it seemed like Robin sort of threw her name out there, or somebody else, and then Robin was kind of dismissive of it and kind of suggested that this doesn't sound like Candy's tone. And then when they had the Night Angel in the back and she was sort of talking, she was like, the guesses were really interesting and I was laughing in my mask. And clearly that is somebody guessed her and then dismissed her.
Yeah.
Candy Burris, welcome to the Masked Singer.
Yeah, no, it's her. It's her. It
I
has to be her, and I'm very excited if it is her because I like her. I think she's got a fun, positive energy.
If this season ends with Candy Burris, Tony Romo, and Jonathan Taylor Thomas, we're gonna have quite a celebration here.
Well, she's really the only one that I feel really sure about. Everyone else, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure that I don't even know. I don't even have a guess for the Rhino. That's how much I don't know that.
Yeah, I'm not.
And the astronaut, I'm sure I'm wrong about him. But
yeah, I'm not super confident on Hunter Hayes. I mean, it seems like a lot of people are guessing him, but I don't know enough for me to be like, oh, for sure it's this person. But, you know, I got there with Tom Bergeron and the taco, but I'm not there with the astronaut right now. But we will conclude this video, and I want to know from you guys. What did you think about Bella Thorne being the Swan? Did you guess her? Give us your other guesses. And also, who do you just like the most from this group? Who are you rooting for? Share in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, give us a like, subscribe, and you can support us further by checking the link in the description to the store. And we'll see you here next time.